Have you ever wondered why Japanese cherry blossom season is so special? Well, let's embark on a journey to unravel this mystery. Each year, as winter gives way to spring, Japan transforms into a canvas painted with hues of pink and white. This spectacle is the result of the blooming of sakura or cherry blossoms, a phenomenon that has been celebrated for centuries in Japanese culture. But what makes it truly mesmerizing is not just its visual appeal, it's the deep-rooted connection it holds with Japanese tradition and culture. The fleeting beauty of these blossoms serves as a poignant reminder of the transient nature of life, a concept deeply ingrained in the Japanese psyche. This season of bloom, therefore, is more than just a natural event. It's a time of reflection, appreciation, and celebration. Now let's take a deeper dive into this enchanting world of cherry blossoms. Why do these cherry trees bloom all at once, creating a breathtaking spectacle? It's more than just a marvel of nature. There's a scientific explanation behind the synchronized blooming of cherry blossoms. Let's delve into the fascinating world of plant biology to uncover this mystery. Cherry blossoms, or sakura as they are called in Japan, bloom in response to the increasing temperatures of spring. This is because cherry trees, like many other plants, have an internal biological clock, or a phenological clock, which is influenced by seasonal changes in temperature and daylight. As winter ends and spring begins, the warming temperatures signal to the trees that it's time to start their growth cycle. This is when the buds that have been dormant all winter start to swell and eventually burst into bloom. But it's not just any rise in temperature that triggers this process, it's a consistent increase over a certain period. If the weather fluctuates too much, the trees might get confused and the blooming could be delayed. And it's not only temperature that plays a role here. Daylight, or rather the length of the day, also influences when these trees bloom. As the days get longer, the trees get more sunlight, which they convert into energy through photosynthesis. This energy is then used to fuel the growth and blooming process. But how do all the trees know to bloom at the same time? Well, since all the trees in a particular area are exposed to the same weather and daylight conditions, their internal clocks are synchronized. This means they all receive the same "it's time to bloom" signal at the same time, resulting in the simultaneous blooming we observe. Interestingly, different species of cherry trees have different temperature and daylight requirements for blooming. This is why some species bloom earlier than others, adding to the variety and duration of the cherry blossom season. So, it's not magic, but a combination of science and nature that gives us this beautiful display. The blooming of cherry blossoms is a perfect example of how plants have adapted to their environment, responding to natural cues to survive and thrive. So, it's a combination of science and nature that gives us this beautiful display. But it's not just about the flowers, is it? There's a deeper cultural significance to these blooms. Cherry blossoms, or sakura, as they are known in Japan, are not merely a sign of spring's arrival. They embody a cultural spirit and carry a profound symbolism deeply interwoven into the fabric of Japanese society. The cherry blossom season ushers in hanami, a traditional practice dating back over 1,000 years. Hanami, literally meaning flower viewing, is much more than just an appreciation of the picturesque blooms. It is a time for friends, families, and colleagues to come together under the blooming trees, sharing food, drinks, laughter, and creating memories. These gatherings, held in parks, temples, and schools across the country, are a heartfelt celebration of community, unity, and the joy of being in the moment. But the symbolism of cherry blossoms goes beyond these joyful gatherings. The blossoms are revered for their fleeting beauty, a metaphor for the transient nature of life itself. In a span of just 2 weeks, the buds blossom into stunning flowers, only to wilt and fall soon after. This ephemeral life cycle of the cherry blossom serves as a poignant reminder of mono no aware, a Japanese concept that appreciates the beauty in transience and the gentle sadness in the passing of things. In fact, this sentiment is so deeply ingrained that it permeates various facets of Japanese art and literature. Haikus and tankas, traditional forms of Japanese poetry, often depict cherry blossoms as a symbol of ephemeral beauty. The blossoms also frequently feature in Japanese paintings, imparting a sense of fleeting beauty and the transient nature of existence. The cherry blossoms, therefore, represent a beautiful paradox. On one hand, they symbolize the joyous celebration of the present moment during Hanami. On the other, they serve as a melancholic reminder of life's fleeting nature. This duality gives the cherry blossoms their unique place in Japanese culture. Cherry blossoms, thus, are not just flowers, but a symbol of life's fleeting beauty in Japanese culture. And did you know, these delicate blossoms also have a significant impact on Japan's economy? Yes, these ethereal flowers draw in millions of tourists from every corner of the globe, eager to witness the magical transformation of Japan's landscape. This influx of visitors significantly contributes to Japan's tourism industry, injecting a substantial amount of revenue into the economy. Hotels, restaurants, and local businesses all experience a surge in customers during this period, while transport services also see an increase in usage. The cherry blossom season, in essence, acts as a catalyst for economic growth. Moreover, numerous cherry blossom festivals are held across the country, further boosting tourism. These events, brimming with traditional music, dance, and food, provide a unique cultural experience that attracts even more visitors. Therefore, the cherry blossom season is not just about appreciating nature's beauty. It is also a vital economic period for Japan. So the humble cherry blossom not only adds beauty to the landscape, but also boosts the economy. So how can you be a part of this magical experience? The cherry blossoms, or sakura, usually bloom in Japan from late March to early April, marking the arrival of spring. The best time to visit would be during this fleeting period, where you can witness the breathtaking spectacle of a sea of pink and white. Places like Tokyo's Ueno Park, Kyoto's Maruyama Park, and the majestic Mount Yoshino are popular spots for sakura viewing. But remember, it's not just about the blossoms. It's about the tradition of hanami, or flower viewing, where people gather under the blossoming trees to celebrate the season. So, when you're there, take a moment to respect the environment. Don't pluck the blossoms or litter the parks. Instead, simply soak in the beauty, the sense of community, and the momentary nature of life that these blossoms represent. Remember, the cherry blossom season is not just a natural event, but a cultural experience that